Hello, everybody. My name is Bree,
And I'm Haley.
and welcome back to the Help Me podcast. Today's topic is a little bit of a mishmash, just like always.
I think it's kind of nature themed almost, or natural
I
world.
would say it's kind of natural world. Cool.
Natural world. We're gonna talk about dinosaurs and space.
I love space. Goodness
I
gracious.
love dinosaurs. So let's get into it.
I would like to talk about the northern lights we saw a few
Oh
weeks
yes, they
a
were
little while back
gorgeous.
now. Dude, I was about 5 hours north.
Oh nice.
Crazy pictures. And also, I'm on this server, this Discord server, because I'm a freak. I'm on this Discord server with a whole bunch of people, and there was this one guy who was like, "Oh my, OMG, take a look at these photos I took of the Northern Lights." And this one person goes, "Don't ever take photos of the Northern Lights ever again if you know it's good for you." And if you know it's good for you really threw me off. Because, like, what do you mean?
What do you mean?
If you know it's good for you. This guy goes, "It's disrespectful to my culture."
What's their culture?
Indigenous. And they were like, "That's my ancestors. That's our ancestors." Okay, pal.
So
I understand that. But also, he didn't know. What? Leave the
but
boy
it's
alone.
like it's your culture. Like I'm also indigenous, and I don't think I'd get
Is that really your
angry?
culture, though?
To a point. I think I definitely identify more with my mother's culture than my
Yeah.
dad's. But, I mean, I'd never get angry at someone if they were, like, disrespecting my mom's culture in some way without knowing it.
Like-
Because it's my culture, not yours.
It's also just the fact that they were so mean about it.
Mean
off
about
the
it.
bat. It was like, don't ever do that again if you know it's good for you. Okay, what are you?
So, and also the Northern Lights, like, it's not just here. Like, you're going to see it in other places around the world,
Yeah.
not just here. So, it's not solely a
And
you thing. It's
also-
not like totem poles or ceremony, like, oh my gosh,
The
what
fly
is it called?
ceremony.
Fly ceremony, sweating. That is purely indigenous.
Yeah.
The Northern Lights are not. You see it across, like, in several different places around the world.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that people can't take photos of it. Like, yes, 100%,
Also-
they should do it respectfully.
Photos are pretty new concept,
Right.
especially digital photos.
Exactly.
So this isn't like a. Goodness gracious. This isn't like an old rule.
Right.
This would be new.
We have no idea. We have no idea how, like, their ancestors would feel about.
Honestly, if
The idea
I
of
was a
photos.
northern light and I was like dancing around in the sky, take a picture, dude. I look awesome right now.
I look awesome right now.
Yes, put that on your Instagram story.
I don't know, you can't force other people to follow your traditions of your culture. You can't do that. That's not right for you, it's not right for them. Because at that point, it's like, what even is the point of a cult, of you having your culture if
Right.
everyone's following it?
Especially their wording with, first they said those are my ancestors, those are our ancestors, and they were referring to our as in that
Our?
guy and the other guy.
Right,
Not like our as in indigenous
right.
people. Which is kind of crazy, because like that guy was not indigenous
At all.
at all.
whatsoever.
Like why?
Right,
maybe,
so,
maybe he was Jewish. How do you know?
right. It's, like, you can definitely be respectful of people's cultures, but, like, I don't think I'd ever get angry because someone took a photo of, like, a burial ground.
Okay. If they know it's a burial ground, it's like don't take a photo at a cemetery either.
No, like, I mean, like a burial ground, like, not a cemetery, like a burial ground.
Yeah.
Like, just in the woods somewhere.
Oh, if they didn't know,
Yeah.
obviously. But if they
I'm
knew,
not gonna get angry at that. I'm also not gonna get angry if someone takes a photo of, like, I don't know, what would be represented? We have, like urns
Yeah.
that look like sculptures. If someone took a photo of that, I wouldn't get angry. 'Cause
If they knew it was an urn, it would if it's meant to be like presented.
No,
and
it's not. It's
celebrated.
not presented
No?
as an art. They're like just sculptures that they keep in their house. If someone just took a photo of that without knowing,
If they did know and they asked permission, I can see how that would be
That'd
fine.
be fine.
If
I'd
they
also-
didn't know and didn't ask permission, it could still be like, don't take
it's
pictures
like
of my house.
yeah,
dude.
maybe don't take photos of my house, but I don't think I get angry because they took
Yeah.
a photo. Like
But,
I
like,
definitely tell them what that is
if-
and tell them like yeah, that's completely okay if you do that, but don't come at me like I'm not gonna come at you like if you know what's good for you, you won't
Even
ever
if
take a
I-
photo again.
Like, even if I had known that that was like indigenous people's ancestors,
Right.
I would have still taken a picture.
It's not just an indigenous thing though. That's like saying you can't take a photo of a tree because my
Exactly.
grandpa used to.
You can't take a photo of that tree because we buried my grandpa under there.
But
Buddy,
it's a public tree.
It's a tree.
It's a tree. You can't.
And you know what? I understand that that has a lot of importance to you,
but it doesn't to anyone else.
you know.
And there is a difference. I'm saying be respectful, obviously. I'm not saying like go around and make fun of it or like take photos in disrespectful manners.
You know what I don't like? The
Shoot.
teachers at our school that teach indigenous programs who then believe that they know indigenous culture better than indigenous people. I'm talking about Miss P here. Because there's one guy who was in my indigenous studies class last year who was indigenous and who lived on the reservation by Vernon. Do you
Okay.
know that one?
Yeah.
Like the one that's like 5 hours away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That one
Mhm.
lives right by there. Every day, comes all the way to where we live. Well, not every day, I should say. Every couple of days,
Yeah.
comes all the way to where we live to get his work, then
His
goes back.
Yeah.
Just switches
and
back
forth.
and forth, which is honestly kind of awesome.
Okay.
Getting to
for
live
sure.
at home, getting to work at home, getting to do school at home, and only having to come into this like
area.
area every couple of days.
Right.
That's not bad. The only thing that is bad is that Miss P knew that this guy was indigenous and still said that he was being disrespectful for not going on a couple of the field trips to like quote unquote indigenous places. Do you want to know what the indigenous places she took us to are?
Was it the park or that
Park?
area?
Park. She took us to park.
She took us to park.
She took us to museum,
Oh yeah.
which
I there.
was kind of cool.
That one was really cool.
I didn't like that one that much though, because there was a lot of doing nothing. But it's still cool. That guy ended up getting a really low grade, barely passing that class actually, because
He didn't go
on
trips.
all of these trips. Also, these places that she took us to, not indigenous spaces at all. City Park, buddy.
That one
took us to
museum was.
That one museum was.
But I think that was the
But,
only
like,
one.
City Park? Really?
No.
Seriously? Okay, pal. It's just stuff like that like,
Yeah. You can learn about someone's culture for sure. And
It's
there's
also,
definitely
like-
going to be people that study a culture that might know more about, like, personally, I'm sure Miss P knows more about indigenous culture than I do because I'm not very heavily versed in that kind of
and
culture.
that's okay. You
And
don't
that's
have to be
100% fine.
You don't have to be immersed in your culture, even just because it's yours.
Right.
You can still be a part of the culture, even though you're not.
Like, fully immersed in it. And
Fully
that's
immersed.
completely fine. But that is not the case for him.
No, he lives on the reservation. Actually, I've been to his house there before. There's like trailer park on the reservation, and then there's the like living off the land side of the reservation.
Oh, okay.
Bro lives on the trailer park side, but his parents live on the living off the land side because he lives with his grandparents on that side.
Oh, okay.
Because they wanted him to be able to make his choice on whether he wanted to
Live off the land.
live off the land or be a part of modern society.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good
That's
decision.
great. That's fine.
I think you should be giving your kids these options.
Options and opportunities, 100%, and that's his choice. But I feel like he's still probably a lot more versed, especially considering his parents are living off of the land, and I'm doubtful that he's not seeing his parents at all.
And also, they're kind of awesome. Like, I met them, I think, 2 or 3 times because my mom's friend lives out there, and I go to see her every now and again to help her out with, like,
Not the freaky
fixing,
one?
Not one of the freaky ones. No, a pretty normal one, actually.
Normal
but I go
one?
out there to help her with, like, fixing stuff. I'm like their little handyman, kind of. I'm not, which is kind of sucks, actually. They break stuff so often. But it's okay. And every time I go out there, I always go and visit his parents, because every time I go out there to fix something, they always come down to her place and they're like, you need to visit us. And I go,
like,
sir, yes, sir.
Sir, yes.
And they're really nice. And you know what? Where they live is surprisingly really nice, because I know that a lot of indigenous culture is moved around constantly. Yeah. They don't have that opportunity because they don't have the land available to them anymore.
Right. Which is unfortunate.
But what they do have, they've done really well with. I'm actually shocked that they've been able to get all the stuff that they have. They've kind of got an insane setup for themselves. They have running water. Which,
that's really good.
Yeah.
That's actually really good.
But they have 2 sources. They have the arm pump running water, and then they have a bathroom for guests.
Oh, okay.
And they don't usually use it, but I use it because
You're not doing the arm pump?
Well, no. I don't care about that. I'm just embarrassed because where they use the bathroom is a lot different than... Because you gotta walk like half a kilometer into the woods, and I don't like doing it. I went with them one time because I was like, "Hey guys, I gotta pee. Where's the bath? Where's the bathroom?" And they were like, "Follow me."
And you were like hiking for like half an hour?
It felt like it. We were going like uphill and then downhill and then back uphill. Oh, goodness gracious. They're so nice though. I love them so much.
That's really great, Brie.
They're so awesome. I just think about them sometimes.
Anyway, oh my gosh.
I think they are the nicest people I've ever met.
The nicest people you've ever met in your whole life?
Like nicer than A.
Nicer than A?
Nicer than A. Like insanely welcoming, especially considering that I'm just some guy. I'm just some guy.
Nicer than A.
Nicer than A.
You realize the words you're saying.
Yes, I realize the words I'm saying.
The same A that's like baked us like cookies and cakes.
The same A that's like an angel that's been sent to Earth.
Literally the same A that's like so freaking amazing. Like I want to hold her and protect her from all of the world.
Nicer than A.
I need to meet these people.
They're so awesome.
Because A gives me faith in humanity.
They give me faith in like the entire world.
Universe.
Yes.
Like, oh my gosh.
they're like,
wait, perfect. I need to meet these people.
And every time I come over, they're like, "Do you want like a snack?" And I'm like, "I'm okay." And then they're like, "No, you're gonna get a snack." And then they give me like the most delectable, delicious piece of food I've ever had in my entire life. Oh, they're just so perfect. What are our topics? What are we talking about?
We're talking about space and dinosaurs, but you got a little sidetracked.
Sorry. Let's pivot to space. I like space.
You like space?
I like
okay,
space.
what do we want to discuss? Because last time we kind of dabbled in aliens.
Space scares me. Space scares me bad. Because, like, did you know that the closer a planet is, the more red it looks, and the farther a planet is, the more blue it looks?
That makes sense.
Yeah, but I didn't know that. Also, you know when you take a sheet of paper or like a strip of paper,
right?
And you twist it and then connect the ends so that it's
like
all of it's one part. So like
it has no front and no back.
Yeah, no front and no back. That's like what the universe is, and that's crazy. I don't like that.
So you don't like that the universe is basically infinite loop? Yes,
I don't like that. But it's also not infinite because there's a fine. If you follow the theory of the Big Bang, which is it's pretty much confirmed. It might as well be. But like it's still expanding outwards from that, and there's like a hum, a worldwide hum, a galaxy-wide, a universe-wide hum from that first explosion that's still happening.
It means
that
we're
was billions
still
of years
expanding
ago,
slightly.
which means we're still expanding.
But that also means we might retract at some point.
Which, well, I don't even know. Would we retract or would we just stop expanding?
That's like
and then
the
would
hard
it
bit.
start to die out from the origin point of the
So it
bang?
starts fading?
Yeah.
I don't know, because I don't
Also,
I don't
what are we
necessarily
expanding into? I don't
What-
know.
It's the
I
same
don't
question as
know.
what came before that bang.
Also,
Something must have, because it's not like the world just banged into existence.
imagine being sent out into space and ending up in a dead zone. No planet, no stars, no suns, nothing.
Right.
Nothing out there. No, I don't want to. That would be so scary.
Another terrifying fact, galaxies actually orbit partially around black holes.
Which is cool, I think.
Which is cool, but I took a course...
That does mean that they can crash into each other.
Right. I took a course on black holes, most terrifying course of my life. Black holes, a black hole could be the size of like a
There
dime.
could be a black hole in the room with us right now. We wouldn't know until it hit us.
Literally. They're the size of a dime, and basically they're collapsing in on themselves, and they're eating any piece of light. So even, you can't see black holes, because they're literally
They
darkness.
consume light itself.
So if you look at it,
it
you won't see anything.
You
Well,
might be able to see
The light bending,
Well, not even the light bending. You might be able to see the distortion.
right. But
And
you
that's
aren't going to
it.
see the
You
black
wouldn't see
hole,
the hole
itself. And it's so incredibly, like, it's such an anomaly, too, because we don't have anything else in this universe
Like, what
like
causes
it.
them?
We don't know.
Like, that's crazy.
We don't know. We don't know if it's stars exploding, which can be a cause, but not, like, it hasn't
not,
been
like, the only
confirmed. It's not the
cause.
only cause. We say maybe it's gas particles, but that doesn't make sense why it would collapse in on itself and eat light. It's so confusing.
Well, it doesn't technically eat light. It eats everything.
It eats everything, but it consumes light in its path, which is such a...
Like, light isn't something that's supposed to be able to be consumed.
It almost destroys energy.
Yeah,
Which is
that's crazy.
pretty much impossible.
Also, what the flip is antimatter? What is that? I've heard
Antimatter?
people talk about it.
I've only...
my leg fell asleep. Oh my goodness.
Okay, Bree's going on a little hike. I don't know, because there's so many so many things that contradict itself in this universe. Like, almost every law that we've created, we can find an excuse for in space.
Like law of an object will stay in object in motion will stay in motion until
something there's a force stopping it.
But like that force is normally friction, but there's no friction.
There's no friction
space.
in space.
So then they changed it slightly to an object in motion will stay in motion until stopped, until an object in motion stays in motion and cannot be stopped. Like a black hole.
Right.
A black hole, I don't think that law would even apply to that.
No, because literally any law on this, or like gravity, the reason why we have seasons, why we orbit around the sun, all of it can have an excuse in space, and it's the most bizarre concept of reality. Like,
I'm jumping up and down over here.
Bree's like confusing me. No, it's so incredible, and like the fact that a black hole is probably the closest thing we have to something destroying energy. That's not supposed to be possible.
Energy is
There's
there's also supposedly a finite amount of energy
in this universe.
Like the fact that there's something that can destroy that is crazy.
It is crazy. It makes you wonder if someone had the ability to harness the power of a black hole.
Oh, we would never be able to.
No. I'm just like saying, like,
that would be crazy.
It would be insane.
That's like saying, what if we could build a Dyson sphere? We'll never be able
right.
to. But it's fun to think about.
It is very intriguing to think about.
Because Dyson sphere, infinite energy,
oh my gosh,
which is technically impossible because the sun isn't something that will be burning for an infinite amount of time.
It will end. Technically, our universe can't even exist for an infinite amount of time.
Because there's not enough energy out there to sustain it.
It's going to end at some point. And I feel like the more black holes we have, the more quicker it's going to end.
And you know what? I think black holes are awesome, and I think there should be more of them. I think that there should be one. Isn't there one relatively close that we can observe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've taken photos of it.
Yeah.
And we've used special infrareds, and we went from a blurry photo of it to a slightly less blurry photo of it where you can kind of see the eye.
Isn't there also a supermassive black hole that's
There's
not too far?
There's a huge one. I don't think it's in the galaxy. I think or it might just be on the outside, like just at the outside of the galaxy. It's humongous though. It's like eating everything.
That's so awesome. Do you think it's gonna start heading this way?
Well, that's the weird thing about black holes. They
They
don't
don't
really
really
work.
move.
They don't move like that. If anything, everything else would move towards it.
Yeah.
But
'cause
that
it's pulling everything in.
Right. But that wouldn't really, it wouldn't make sense.
Also, the
We're more
great
like,
attractor. What is that?
we don't know.
Like, that's crazy. The fact that there's something that's attracting
Everything?
that's crazy.
Insane. But yeah, the thing
And the theory is the great attractor could be the end point
of the world
of the universe. Yeah. It could be a supermassive black hole. It could be anything.
Literally anything. We
It
don't
could
know.
just be one really big sun that we're technically orbiting around. Who could say?
Who could say? We don't know. But what so yeah, with black holes though, it's more likely for us to start orbiting another one because technically speaking, you're gonna orbit a black hole much longer than you're gonna get consumed by it.
Yeah.
Like,
also,
we'd have a
that
couple
theory where
million
people
years.
are like, if you get sucked into a black hole, you're gonna get spaghetti-fied. No. You get turned into like. You don't exist anymore.
Right. Think about, okay, have you watched Inside Out?
Yes.
That part where they started going like 3D, 2D.
Yes.
It's almost like that until you basically
pretty much
crumple it, but it's like instantaneous.
It shifts you from third dimensional to two dimensional to one dimensional.
Until you crumple in
to
on
nothing.
yourself and cease to exist. But it's like
But
instantaneous.
you don't cease to exist either. You become a part
of the black hole.
So like each one of your atoms creates their atoms aren't even really existent inside of a black hole.
They're like, it like shifts in and out of reality almost.
And you know what? There's theories that black holes are wormholes and that they send you somewhere. I don't think that's true.
I don't think that's true, but it's not impossible. Like when you think about it.
It's not impossible, but it certainly isn't possible.
It isn't likely.
It's not impossible, but it's not possible.
Well, okay, think
You
about
know
it this
what I
way.
mean?
If the black hole is consuming you, what we think is, because its atoms are basically shifting in and out of our reality as we know it. We don't know if there's another reality out there.
Well, there's
different
different
theories of dimensions. There are different dimensions in shapes, but like, for example, oh my gosh, what's it called? Where we have different planets and different pockets, that sort of thing. We don't know if that exists or not. Some people believe in it, some people don't. We're trying to figure that out. But if
you know
a black
how there
hole,
supposedly is another planet that we haven't discovered in our own solar system?
oh, I have heard about that. Yeah.
the look on your face.
Like, what are you on?
What the hell is this guy talking about?
Anyway, but if the black hole, let's say, is like on both sides, it's shifting into our reality and into another one. That's why the atoms and particles are always moving yet stay still.
Also, isn't there like a mathematic opposite of all particles and atoms and all of that? Because they technically exist, and if even one of the little anions or whatever hits an ion, it would destroy everything.
In its wake,
Yeah.
Which is terrifying. But
that's kind of awesome.
If it's shifting in and out, then when we get consumed, basically, or change literal physical dimensions and then get sucked into it, it could also theoretically spit us out if there is another dimension.
I don't even think it would be like another dimension type deal. I think it would just be like
another shift in the world.
Well,
like, okay,
there is
theory.
Supposedly infinite, well, not infinite because nothing's infinite, but infinite amount of dimensions. So like there's, of course, we only know the first three for sure,
right.
But like fourth is like time, fifth is like space,
right.
All of that. Like if it shifts us from a third dimension
to
into
like a sixth or an eighth dimension, or even a second dimension.
Second dimension would be so evil, because we could walk in one line and end up where we just were, because there's nowhere else we can go except for our line or our box.
First dimension would be insane. You're not even like moving at that point. You're just like.
You just are.
You just
it's
are.
Like line, then box, then cube.
Line, box, cube. Anyway, but if we were like transported to the 7th or the 8th dimension through a black hole.
Would a circle be first dimension? Because, like, it's just a bent line.
I think it'd be more second. Because, like, first dimension, the whole premise is that it's a straight line with an end. So you can only move along that one line. So, like, if I took a piece of paper and I got one line,
Mm-hmm.
it's flat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're flat. You can, like, move like a worm, basically, along that line.
Didn't
Circle,
they move
though.
like a worm in Inside Out?
Yeah, they did. A circle, though, it's weird because you'd be turning.
Yeah, I guess.
So that's an angle that you wouldn't be able to make in first dimension, like a turn.
They did that. They did first dimension in SpongeBob.
How did that work out?
I don't remember. There was also an episode where he was like God or something. I don't remember.
Love that for him.
I haven't watched SpongeBob in a long time.
Anyway, so space is just a bizarre concept in it.
Space is just so awesome. And then there's like new nebulas. There's
Oh my gosh.
neutron
Don't
stars.
even get me
there's
started.
dwarf
Oh my gosh.
suns.
Like, another thing I find so intriguing, like, pocket reality, like, okay, the theory that every decision that you make on this world
Oh my goodness gracious.
could be split, and you made
There's
the...
a world where I'm perfect. There's a world where I'm perfect.
There could be.
There's also a world
Where your
there's
parents are together.
There's a okay. I don't
There's-
think that would be the world where I was perfect.
No, I'm just saying, but there could be a world where your parents never lived. There could be a world where, I don't know, World War II never happened. Or...
I thought you, for a second, I thought you said where World War III never happened, and I was like, did I miss one? Did I miss something? I'm falling behind. I don't know what's happening. I'm like an old, frail man. I'm lost.
But there could be a world where dinosaurs still exist.
That would be awesome.
That would
I
be
guess they
awesome.
technically do.
In a way.
Like, sharks are technically dinosaurs.
I mean, chickens, if we're really getting into it.
Well, would you call, like, a human an ape? Because we're descended from the same guy.
But sharks are too. They're, like, technically descendants.
Yeah, but
Like, there were sharks that existed back then, but they wouldn't be classified as dinosaurs. But there are dinosaurs that existed back then that have morphed into sharks now.
I think sharks are awesome. I want to know more about deep sea life.
Deep sea life is so intriguing because we know more about space than we know, like, even a fraction of what we know in the water.
I would like to know what's down there. There's these, like, evil creatures down there, and I want to know about them.
I mean,
Like, I
yeah.
believe the Kraken's real.
Kraken's
I
down
believe it's just a really big squid. You laugh, but I'm serious. I believe that the Kraken is just one really big squid.
that just came up for a little bit and ate
Yeah.
ate some boats.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it's impossible to think that, like, there's sea life under there. That's, like insane, like alien-like almost.
Like, there's this one clip I saw of this thing, this, like, probe type deal that was sent deep into the ocean, and it was recording, and there was this, like, white, disgusting creature, and it had, like, it kind of had, like, the head of a squid, and I think it had a beak of a squid as well, but it had, like, arms that it was built like a box. It went, like, straight sideways and then straight down, and it had, like, 4 legs, and they were each, like, they said that they were, like, 100 feet long or something, and they're whip thin. They're, like, pencil width at most.
Okay, I'm scared now.
And then they drag along the bottom of the
Yeah,
floor and scoop anything up that it's catching for prey, and it eats them. Like, that's so cool. I want to know more about those little freaks.
So we're gonna change topics now because I'm
What?
thoroughly terrified of what you
And
just
then,
said.
like-
No, Bree.
And then, like,
No,
people
no,
like Leviathan.
no.
Leviathan.
Okay.
Like the one from the Bible.
Yeah.
Like the sea monster.
Yeah.
Like that maybe that's real, and it's just down there real far.
Probably is.
Or like the movie, I think the Meg. There's
Megalodon? Are you talking about the Megalodon?
Talking about the movie, the Meg.
About Megalodons.
Uh-huh.
Right.
There's like a layer of like permafrost on the bottom of the ocean or something. I don't remember.
It makes sense.
And
It's
then
incredibly
underneath was a whole other thing. And obviously that's not real.
That wouldn't exist. But
That wouldn't exist.
That is a really cool premise.
But something similar to that might exist where we already have underground lakes where there's like
Pockets.
weird fish, weird disgusting critters and creatures that are all blind because they're in perpetual darkness.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something like that underneath the ocean floor that we just
like a
can't.
huge pocket.
Yeah, but also it couldn't go too deep
Otherwise
because then it
we'd
would get
go.
too hot.
Yeah.
But also, maybe it does go too deep and it's really hot and it's just below boiling, but it's hot enough that the creatures can live there. Because, like, those little bugs, tardigrades or whatever,
Yeah.
they can live in
Extreme conditions.
extreme heat. And maybe there's things that evolved down there that
Well,
we'll never
yeah.
learn about. 'Cause
Basically, if you put anything in an extreme environment, so long as it's not so extreme that it will, like a boiling point, but if you put anything in an extreme environment, especially something very adaptive, it is going to adapt.
Yeah.
And survive. The only thing is if we ever broke into that area, they'd all die.
Yeah.
They would.
They would.
Because it's so freaking cold down there that we do have a layer of ice. If underneath that layer of ice, there's also a layer of like rock or something, and then we have that pocket of heat, the second we break into that, all of that cold water gets mushed in. And it might heat the rest of the ocean, but it's gonna cool everything down in there and we just kill them. So we'd have to figure out a way to get in there without.
That's true. I just think that sea life is so cool. Like, what do you mean an anglerfish has the little light?
Okay, that's so incredible to me.
What is that?
The fact that it can glow and
Well, like,
work on its own.
We technically glow.
Not the same, Brie.
Well, like,
I
still
want a light bulb
we're
on my
a little bit
forehead.
bioluminescent.
I want a light bulb on my forehead.
There's critters up here that are bioluminescent.
I know, but
jellyfish. That's cool.
jellyfish.
Jellyfish.
I have hat. I have
shoe. I have hat on.
Wait. I have purse. I have shoe. I have hat on head. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Let's talk about dinosaurs. We haven't talked about that.
Oh my gosh, love
I'd say
dinosaurs.
what?
Apparently, newfound. I don't know if you know about this.
New dinosaur?
Not
Dropped?
new dinosaur.
Oh.
Every dinosaur that we've ever really seen, wrong.
Like, what do you mean?
Like, oh my gosh, what's it
You're
called?
talking about how they all
Stegosaurus?
have, like, feathers and
No,
stuff?
I'm talking about, oh my gosh, the one with the really long neck. Stegosaurus?
Bronchiosaurus?
Bronchiosaurus? Is that what it's
Yeah.
called? Yeah, okay. Bronchiosaurus doesn't exist.
Yeah, I heard about that. That pissed me off. That was my favorite one. What do you mean
T-Rex?
that's not real? I didn't care about
Half the
T-Rexes
size.
as much. Well, their heads are really big, so I think we just made an assumption. But also, lizards' heads are really big in comparison to their body.
Right. What else? A lot of them have feathers, most likely.
Yeah.
But that's
Well,
been...
They evolved into birds and lizard.
Yeah, so some of them had feathers, some of them did not.
Yeah. Pterodactyls are cool.
Pterodactyl's amazing. But they think that the pterodactyl itself didn't exist. There's like two different versions.
Yeah, I
And then
know.
they merged into one.
Which is such a shame.
Basically, any dinosaur that's like really been front and center famous doesn't actually
I would like
exist.
to see one of those little critters, like the little Jurassic period critters that are in the shells.
The ones that got the ones in the shells.
Yeah.
Oh, like the ones that got turned to amber?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to see those.
Okay.
I would like to see them alive. I want to see what they do.
I don't know. I think it's really incredible. I remember this one dinosaur that I used to read so heavily about. Their horns could change color depending on how they felt.
What?
Yeah.
What? We should get that.
New drop. New drop.
Dude, we need an
Merch
update.
drop.
We need an update.
Okay, we need to get I don't know.
We'll get bioluminescent bulb. We'll get color changing horn.
We'll get feathers.
We'll get feather. We'll get tail.
We'll get
because
tail.
tails are good for balance.
Tails are good.
We'll get shrimp vision.
I want wings.
We can have wings.
Breathe we can have wings.
Talons.
Those would be so
Kinda
cool.
need talons.
No, but yeah, their horns would it'd be like a I say horn. I'm not talking about a unicorn horn.
One big horn.
So it was actually a book on unicorn. No, it's like one huge strip of I don't even know what it was. It was bone and but it was hollow and the skin outside kind of worked like a chameleon's.
Okay.
And based on their emotions, it would change color. And then and then they'd like bump each other with it, like during mating. So they'd like fight over like a female or whatever, and they'd bump horns until one of them broke,
Oh,
and then it would die.
okay.
But
Can
like
we just resolve it peacefully?
No, and then but like different ones changed different colors. So like one like male or female would have like blue is when they're like stressed or upset, but another one maybe green is when they're stressed or
How would
upset.
they even figure out that would change colors? Would they, like, how would they
It
figure
was like
that
it was
out?
like so I think they were like observing like the bone
Yeah?
and the way some of them are preserved, like the skin kind of sits on the bone still a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the particles like atoms, would it be? Cells or whatever. Some of the cells, there's cell residue. So they took the cell residue and they found that it was very similar to chameleons.
Okay.
The fact that they can like change the color. But they also found that it was connected to the nervous system with the brain, which is why when they break it, it's like the head. So the
Mhm.
brain is like connected almost directly. So that's why they die when their horn was broken.
Okay, that's freaky.
So cool.
My favorite dinosaur was the Bronchiosaurus, and I was really upset when I heard that they were real.
Well, there's a similar one.
Yes, but I want him back.
You want Bronco
I
back?
want Bronc back. And you know what? I can never get Bronc back.
You can never have Bronc back.
Well, you know what else I like? Sea dinosaurs.
Sea dinosaurs
Those are
are
freaking cool.
so intriguing.
They're also really big. They were all
Huge,
really big.
humongous. Like not even like the megalodon itself.
You think a whale is big? Wait
No.
till you see this.
No, it's like 20 to 30 times bigger than a blue whale.
I don't know if that number's right, buddy.
For oh my gosh, what's it called?
Megalodon jaws can fit a human person in them, and so can a blue whales.
No, I'm not talking about a megalodon. I'm
Oh.
talking about what was it called? It had like huge fins on it and like a long neck.
Yeah.
They were humongous.
Like a long face.
Yeah.
Alligator-esque.
Yeah.
Alligators are really old too.
Yeah, they are.
Crocs and Al.
Crocodile.
Croc.
Love those guys.
Croc pot.
Oh, I don't like that.
What?
We just sighed and sing.
You know what? That's just because we're so connected.
Okay, great. But I don't know. It's so intriguing. Just how like the biosphere and the way that the world functioned back then.
I want to go. I want to go.
Go where?
See it.
Oh, go back in
But,
time
like,
and just like.
Not gonna happen. Unfortunately.
Another intriguing thing. Every society, basically ever, like built or created.
Dinosaurs.
Not dinosaurs.
I mean dragons.
Dragons.
Yeah.
They all
Dragon
had.
is nuts. Dragons are so cool though. Haley threw something at me.
Really? Dragon these nuts? No, it's not funny. Stop laughing. And I threw a chapstick at you. Calm down.
Yeah, and I
Deflected
I
it.
deflected it like the goat I am.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna hit. No, I'm not, because we
No,
don't
you're
promote
not.
violence on
No,
this
no,
channel.
No. But like dragons in pretty much every culture, European, Asian.
African.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, African. No, wait.
Didn't North. They had something similar.
I don't know if North America had it, or South America for that matter. But definitely Northeast, the East.
Aztec, yeah, they had dragons in South America for sure.
Okay, so the East and the South.
Oh,
had
yeah,
it.
they did. They had sea serpents and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. We've all
North
had like
America.
types of dragon or
From
dragon-esque
one in
critters.
dragon, yeah, and I don't think they exist, but I kind of want them to.
I think that they just found old dinosaur bones and were like, well, I know what this is.
I think I know what this is, guys, because...
You know what else is crazy to me?
What?
The pyramids were ancient to Cleopatra.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Cleopatra existed closer to
The invention
of the cell phone than she did to the any of the pyramids built.
Yeah. That's crazy. Also, cultures all around the world built pyramids.
Yep.
That's crazy. Why?
Um,
People just loved
I
triangles.
think, well, triangles are the most, like, structurally sound that you can pretty much get with
Yeah.
simple shapes. So, that on top of the fact that almost all of them are burial grounds and resting places makes a lot of sense.
It makes a lot of sense how.
Okay, so they wanted to keep the burials safe.
Yes.
And almost everywhere we're talking about had a lot of, like, either they had, like, slaves of some sort. So they had that labor incentive. They didn't need to work. And they also had the equipment and ability to build. What?
When people are like, the aliens built the pyramids, and this is proved by this one painting on the wall, this one mural.
Which one are you talking about? The one where, like, they have, like, their hands up to the sky, and there's, like, an orb or
whatever.
That was probably Ra, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, it was probably
almost
Ra,
100% Ra, the sun god,
yeah.
who was blessing the pyramids, not building them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still pretty interesting. I think that they just built them with log and stone. Log.
Like wood?
Yes. Like they rolled them on
like,
logs to be able to pull them easier.
Yeah, that would make sense. Also, pulley systems did exist back then.
Yeah, but those rocks are big.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know if a pulley system would have worked all that well for that.
Also, we discussed this before, but the burning of, oh my gosh, what was that?
Alexandria.
Yeah.
I'm so upset about that.
For all we know, they did have the technology available. I'm not talking about like bulldozers and things like that, but the technology and or concepts that we might not have available to build those. We just don't know because no one knows ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics, and 90% of the language is undecipherable. We don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Roman Greek had those burnt down. So Latin itself, probably one of the only ancient languages that we can currently understand to this day.
We can somewhat understand ancient Greek.
Ancient Greek, but that's burnt.
Yeah,
down.
Sure.
Same with anything that was Latin. All of those were burnt down.
And then anything Egyptian, it was usually, there wasn't a whole lot of writing
They didn't write a lot, and
it was mostly oral, and the stuff that they did write down, it was all in hieroglyphics.
Or there was a language, and we can kind of understand it, but the hieroglyphics, we have absolutely no idea, because it's almost like trying to decipher someone's art. You can try your best.
They should get me over there.
But I bet
I can do it.
But no one's gonna fully understand it.
They should put me in charge of the country.
They
should put me in charge of the justice court. They should put me in charge
Bree should just be the leader of the entire world, and we'd figure out so many things.
Yep, and everything would be done right, too.
Okay, Bree.
Not one mistake. So we don't tolerate
But even,
mistakes.
like, Aztecs, like, any, like, South American, they didn't write a whole lot. Most of those cultures were almost entirely
Indigenous
oral.
People were pretty much entirely oral. I don't think they had any written.
Oral. I don't think they have a written language.
They do.
Well, they do now, but not
but
back then.
Not
And as far as I'm concerned, the second that Europeans or colonizers came here, they pretty much stripped them of everything.
Yeah. Even if there was a written language, I doubt it would have survived the colonization.
Right. Especially when you, like, and another thing, like, just because they had certain things doesn't mean they had the same things we have. So when they came with, like, blankets and guns and all of these other easier to get mechanics, why would you continue to do something that might be harder when you can do something easier?
I ask myself that often, and I always choose the easier way.
Right. Why would they do any different?
Yeah.
That pretty much leaves us with Asia.
Asia? What are we talking about?
We're talking about the fact that in history, there could have been a point in time when they optimized the use of physics.
Oh, yeah.
To a way that we don't understand.
And Asian culture and heritage pretty well documented?
It is 100% very well documented. The thing is, and they were phenomenal builders, but there were also a lot of very messy wars.
Yeah.
That were not putting, like, Genghis Khan being one of them. Every single dynasty.
Didn't he have like 1 million children?
He also had 1 million children. But, like, every dynasty, a bloody war followed, pretty much. And oh my gosh.
It's hard to progress while you're in war.
I feel like also Asia, a lot of Asia was, like, what's the word I'm looking for? They didn't like outsiders. It was very, like, border secure.
Yeah.
They didn't trade very often. People wanted to trade with them quite often. They had silks. They had, and a lot of advancement that we have in this day comes from Asia for a reason.
What
because
messes me up so bad is the thought that all Asian people come from the same group of people. That's crazy. All
like
white
a
people
similar,
come from the same group of people.
Similar
and
ancestors.
technically, all of us come from the same group of people.
Eventually,
that's crazy.
at one point, yeah, because we were all like a cell.
Yeah,
floating in
that's insane. That messes me up so hard. I don't. Oh, I can't.
It's rough.
I can't.
I know, it's so incredible. So yeah, that pretty much. Oh, and then I guess we also have other parts of Africa, but a lot of war there too. Like there was
It's
a lot of war.
not even like just internal war in Africa.
It's a lot of external parts as well.
Like Europe coming in and being
right.
like, well, we don't need any of this.
Right. So a lot of the most advanced cultures, I think, either all of their writing was destroyed, unlegible, it was an oral-based society, and I think Asia, we do have a lot of things, like silks, that was them.
Yeah.
100%.
Spices, I think that was near them.
It was Asia and a little bit of Africa.
Yeah.
It was both. But like anything, like a lot, even like physics and principles, a lot of it comes from Asia.
Does it?
Yeah,
I don't know anything.
It was like based off of like a lot of like Asian readings and writings. The only issue is we haven't had access to them since recent years.
The other day I did a little analysis of like my genetics because my one friend was like, "Dog, it's crazy that you're the second most Asian person in this group chat," and I was like, "That is crazy actually. I'm the whitest guy there is," because there's my one friend Angela.
Yeah.
100% Korean.
Okay.
Actually, she claims that she's 100%, but I heard her talking to her parents one time, and she was like, "I don't care that we're part Chinese." So I think she just lies for fun.
Oh, okay.
Which honestly, I kind of respect that, but I am equal parts Japanese and British. That's so messed up. And I'm 27.5% unknown.
What does that mean?
It means I don't know what that part is. Like my grandpa's dad, both of my grandfather's dads, no clue.
You should get like
I want to
a
get a
DNA test. I do too.
I think that would be so cool.
So cool.
But all this tells me is that I'm a lot of classic white, like Scottish, French, and British, and then I've got my little extra 27.5% unknown. A fourth of me is crazy that I got no clue.
You have no idea.
And then the fact that 12.5% Jewish, and then 18.75% Japanese is crazy.
So you're more Japanese and Jewish than you thought you were?
Yes.
Much, much, much more.
Yeah. I thought I was like maybe like 6%. No. Which now I feel kind of stupid because when I think about it, my grandmother was 75% Japanese and my other grandmother was 50% Jewish.
So that makes sense.
So it makes perfect
Why
sense.
did you think you were 6?
I'm not very good at math. And also, when I was doing this, I kept adding emojis. Like, I kept writing emojis into my little notebook.
Oh my
but
gosh.
I'm just so bad at drawing. So all of them look so awful.
Brie, you're something else.
You should do that. I would love to see your breakdown.
I know that I'm 50% my mother. Okay, wait.
You don't want to release that info?
Okay, I'm 50% Albanian. For sure.
Okay.
Because she's 100%.
Really? That's rare.
100%, yeah.
Well, like, it's
well, they
kind
were,
of
like,
rare for, like,
blocked
newer
off.
That's true. It's kind of rare for, like, this, your mother's generation and our generation to be 100%
but
anything.
another thing is that you have to keep in mind with Albania is it's a newer country as well. Like, it was originally founded, I think, in, like, the 1800s, 1900s.
Yeah.
So it's much easier. And then after that, it was the whole communism and then the war, or the Civil War. So the fact that she's 100% is not shocking. If I did a DNA test, it's probably like Turkey and a lot of other countries would probably get thrown in there more than Albania would.
You're like whispering now.
Oh.
Turkey and a lot of other countries.
Okay, yeah, Turkey and a lot of other, oh my gosh. What's the word I'm looking for? Not country.
Turkey, Greece.
Is it Middle East? No.
No. Southern
Mediterranean.
Europe? Mediterranean.
A lot of countries on the
Southern
Mediterranean.
Europe.
Southern Europe.
Nice.
A lot of countries on the Mediterranean would definitely.
And then on your pa's side.
So he's. Well, let's see here. My grandpa's like 45% indigenous.
45%? How'd you 40? Where'd the 0.5% go?
Okay, so it's weird because his grandmother. Yeah, his grandmother is 100%.
Okay.
Her daughter married an indigenous man. Daughter was 50, indigenous man was 100.
So 75%.
75%. That was his mother.
So she was 75%. So
and
he
then,
would have been 37.
No, 75.
Okay, whose grandmother was 100?
Okay, wait. 75% divided. Okay, wait.
Whose grandmother was 100? Because we.
My grandpa's.
Your grandfather's grandmother.
Great grandmother.
Brother. Give me the calculator.
Wait, was it grandmother or great grandmother? One of the two.
Let's go with grandmother to give you more.
Why? I don't care. I'm like.
Let me do the math.
10%, I think.
So your grandfather's grandmother. So she was 100%. So
yeah.
Your grandfather's father or mother, I don't care.
Yeah.
Grandfather's parent, 50. Married somebody else who was 100%?
25 or something like that.
Okay. So.
No, because his grandmother, grandmother, 75, married someone 100. So the kid was not 100% or 50%. It was like something else. They married someone that was like 25. Grandpa's like around 45. Dad's around like 16 or 17.
22.5 if it's just from your grandfather.
22.5?
Yeah, your father.
Oh, from my father. I was like, my grandfather's.
So you'd be around 10%.
I'm around 10%.
Like 11.
Give or take.
It's crazy. That's
You're
insane.
more
I'm more Japanese than
I'm
you are
indigenous.
Indigenous, which is so evil.
Yeah, and then the rest of that's Acadian, mainly, and then a bit of.
What the hell is Acadian?
It's French.
Oh,
I'm just gonna say French, and then a bit of British, I believe.
And then a bit of British,
I believe.
British. You know what? I can see the British in my mother.
Can you see the British in me?
No.
No, I don't look British?
No.
What do I look?
French.
Oh, thank you.
It's more of a rat look than Britain, but Britain is more of a disgusting look than rat, so.
Fine, thanks for that.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes, like the face shape. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah.
What else? What else is there that's
Okay, wait, I'm gonna show you a photo. This is like...
A photo?
Yeah.
Of?
This is what like an Albanian woman would look like.
That certainly looks like a woman. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, you look Albanian. You don't look like her,
I don't
but
look
you
like
look
her.
Albanian.
Like, yeah, they have like dark hair, dark eyes.
Your hair isn't that dark. My mom has the same color hair as you.
Dark brown.
Yeah.
It's actually lighter right now.
It's kind of crazy that my mother has blue eyes.
You have blue eyes, Brie.
Yes, but my mother and father do, so that
I thought your mother was British.
Is she? Yeah, she is, but she's like, the fact that she has blue eyes and none of her family does is crazy. Like, none of my uncles do, my grandparents don't, but she does. Genetics really lined up on her.
They really did.
Then my dad has blue eyes. You know what's so evil? The other day I was talking to my mom and she was like, so, how does it feel to have green eyes? Girl, take a look at me.
You don't.
I do not.
I've got
those color eyes that the shade slightly changes
my
depending
sister
on the
has
color
that
behind them. But that's not.
Okay, my sister's actually slightly changed depending on the seasons.
Well, that's also like the colors around you.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
like, I think it's such bullshit when people are like, my eye colors change with the seasons. No, they don't. Girl, they change because your perception of them is slightly different by the color behind
Right.
you.
Because in winter she has like a cold, like stormy gray almost.
I find
And then
that
in summer it's more
I find
greenish.
that on like cloudy days my eyes are a lot more blue than
Yeah.
on sunny days. But that's just because there's less blue around me, which makes, because my eyes are certainly blue, but they don't look that blue when you look at them.
Right.
So when there's like a not
Dark.
decidedly not
Yeah.
blue background, it shows more than when there is a blue background.
Right.
Which I think is cool. Like your eyes in the sun look a very different color than they do.
If I'm on like a cloudy day, it's almost near black.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy look actually.
But if I'm
You
in
look
like
like
the
you're just really like
I'm like
you're like that one chick from the show.
Okay, Bree. So I get that you're trying to go somewhere, but
You
that
look
one
like-
that one
you-
chick from the show doesn't give me much
You
to
look
work
like
on.
those frogs
What?
with the entirely black eyes.
Oh,
Yeah.
like those frogs with like huge beady black eyes.
Yeah, and they're cute.
Oh,
Because
thanks.
I saw a video of one of them being picked up, and he was like holding him, and his eyes were shut, and then he opened them, and they like bulged out of his head, and it sounds gross, but it was like really awesome.
Okay,
I
Bree,
love
thanks for
frogs.
that.
But not in one of those freaky ways.
Not in the freaky deaky ways.
That's enough out of you, I think.
Fine. But yeah, but then in the sun they look a lot more brown.
Yeah, they look like normal.
Normal core.
Normal.
But
Who's
I
got
don't.
the freakiest eyes that you've ever seen?
Freakiest eyes I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like in my family or just in general?
Just in general. How does your sister have blue eyes?
Do you want the whole like?
Where does... Oh, I guess you are her
Okay.
like, white guy.
So, no one on my mom's side of the family has blue
Obviously
eyes.
not. Nobody on the Albanian side of my Albanian mother's Albanian family has blue eyes, which is a commonly not Albanian trait.
Okay, but my grandmother has green eyes.
On your dad's side?
Yes.
Okay.
And my aunt,
Your dad's sister?
half sister,
Half sister.
has blue eyes, but it's from her father, which
Okay.
is not my dad's father.
Okay.
So, we don't know.
Well, if your
Grandma has green eyes,
If
but
your grandmother
she was
has-
adopted. Sorry, the family tree on my dad's side
Well,
is
my
insane.
grandpa was adopted.
My grandma was adopted.
There's a lot of adoption in that era.
Yeah, my grandma was adopted, and her biological father, she doesn't know what other eye color he had, but her mother had brown eyes.
Okay.
So he probably had green eyes or had the trait of green eyes,
Yeah.
which means my sister shouldn't have blue eyes.
Well, anybody who carries the green eye trait often also carries the blue eye trait.
That's also true. So, but then I was looking into a little bit more, and most people with the brown eye trait have the blue eye trait as well.
Yeah.
It's just
the
recessive. So, technically there was a 1 in 4 chance that one of their children.
And you know what? There's 4 of you.
So,
And she's the only one?
she's the only one.
Okay. Well, you guys, you know that it's not a case of, like, she's not your real sister because of how similar you people
We
look.
look like twins.
No. But you certainly look like sisters.
We've definitely gotten twins before, which is, I'm not okay with that, but
You don't look like twins.
we don't.
Haley. No.
I don't.
No. It's okay, buddy. You don't look like twins. It's okay.
I'm gonna start crying.
It's okay. No, you don't look like twins, but you certainly look
We
like
look like sisters. We definitely look related. I used to tell her she was adopted when we were little because of her blue
think
eyes.
That's funny. I think that's funny.
I thought
and
it was so funny. I was like, yeah, you're adopted. She's like, no, I wasn't. I was like, yeah, because you don't have any baby photos because my parents didn't take any, like, baby photos with her. She's like, what about the one from the hospital? And I was like, yeah, because mom and dad were picking you up from the hospital because, like, you were adopted. And she's like, well, I don't believe you. And I was like, oh, yeah? Then why do I have brown eyes and you have blue eyes? And then she started crying.
I wish I had a sibling. I would have made that kid's life hell.
You shouldn't do that, Bree. That's
But
not the
I
goal.
would have been, like, normal, too. It just would have been, like, a little side effect.
Right, that's true. I feel like you'd be more normal core with a sibling.
Okay, I've got a couple people that are like siblings to me.
Okay. But did you, like, grow up under the same house and have to share, like, all your toys?
I
and all
used to
your-
with this one kid,
Oh.
but,
He doesn't live anymore. I mean,
No, she doesn't live anymore, you're right. Which is kind of crazy.
I'm so sorry.
That's so funny.
No,
Because you didn't know too.
No, I didn't. I'm sorry, Bri. Are you okay?
Oh my god.
Do
Oh,
you
I got
need,
over
like,
that
a
a long
hug?
time ago.
Do you want a hug?
No.
Do you want like a high five? A fist bump? Okay.
That is really funny. I don't remember why I haven't told you guys. I had a sibling too, like a blood
Yeah,
one.
I knew that.
That one also died.
I know.
So I'm cursed. Bad juju going around.
So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. A lot of lore was dropped. Do you want to say anything?
I hope you have an awful day.
I hope you guys
builds
have
character.
an amazing day.
It builds
and
character whenever you have a bad day. So whenever you have a bad day, just remember that's you're building character, and you would be really boring if you never had bad days.
I think you should have an amazing day because I feel like you guys all deserve an amazing day. Be sure to...
Unless you deserve a bad day, then have a bad day.
Well, I feel like a good day helps everybody, but
No, some people don't deserve good things or good days or like good.
Okay, Bri. I hope that you guys have a great day, as I was saying. Be sure to email us at helpmepodsubmissions@gmail.com.
This very well may be our last episode, guys.
It might be. We'll see. But anyway, comment down what you want us to talk about, to share. And yeah, have a great day. Goodbye.
Bye.